Salute, salute, salute to our Blorange Tears fam. What it do? I'd like to thank those who are joining myself, Subliminal 209, and my co-host Cully will be joining us shortly. I'd like to thank y'all rocking with us, those who will be in the comments, and for those of you who will watch us tomorrow in the replay. Don't forget to support your boys by smashing that like button and subscribing. So, yeah, we got a few things to talk about. We got a 3-game winning streak. Our Knicks are should have been 4 with that Suns game, but I'm good with that. I mean, are y'all good with that? Is this fool's gold? Are we making Tibbs look better by winning these games? Does this make the front office look better? Do we cut him more slack? I mean, there's just so many questions and answers that we're going to talk about tonight. Also, now Cam's out for the rest of the season with that shoulder sprain. So, I mean, there goes that. He finally got an opportunity to show what he got and getting playing time. And then now he's hurt. So, who does that open the door for? Does that mean more minutes for who? And, things like that. We also have 2 prospects we want to talk about from the Dukes. We want to talk about AJ Griffin, and we're going to talk about Paolo Banchero. Oh, magnifique. Talk about him. And that's kind of what tonight's show's going to go for and what we're going to be talking about. So I'm just waiting for my boy Cully when he pops up because, or I can just start right now. Let's see where we talk about. So to me, let's just go ahead and start with our Knicks. I mean, we've been going on a, like I said, 3-game winning streak. We've been able to see a lot of players with Tibbs, rotation now because these are actually players that are being rotated into the game. They have minutes now. Now it's a Sims. Jericho, he was behind. It was Mitch being a starter. Then it was Noel's. Then it was Taj, and then he was our 4th center. But now it seems that Tibbs is either giving him more run or the front office has made it known to Tibbs that he's going to play Jericho. So I'm kind of, I don't know who it is that's pulling the strings, but I'm okay with that right now. So let me salute some cats in the chat. Ambiguous Slime. That's my son, Slime and Subliminal 209. Yeah, good looking out. He got about an hour before bedtime, so he's out kicking it with us. Salute Julian Blum. Salute Tricky Nicky. Yeah, and I heard Tricky Nicky earlier today. He was on Nothing But Knicks. You know what I'm saying? That was dope. You know what I'm saying? Having your comments out there talking about Mitch, whether we're keeping him or not, we're able to give him that 4-year, $55 million. And we could talk about that too, since he's on the team for now. But to me, I feel that he's just gonna walk. You know what I'm saying, one reason is he was only making like 1 point something milli a year or 2 point whatever, super low, lower than Noel's, lower than Taj. Then what happened last year? We didn't even we had more salary cap. They could have been a good front office, and spread it out to the rest of the players. Those guys like Mitch, those guys that were at the end of the bench, and it could have gave them a little bit of a bonus, a bump raise. But what did we do? We gave it to Luka Vildoza. I'm saying somebody who played a game in summer league and went to preseason, was just a body in preseason and never actually made the roster. So, I'd be mad too. That's just not good for business. You gotta, for someone who's your starter, for someone who's giving you all they had, who's throwing their body around and just put it all out on the court. You not to give them a raise, when we had the money to give it to them. That's just not good. Like my job, for instance, I'm a truck driver. I drive diesels, and so I go to the recycling place. I have about 200 empty drums. Each drum weighs 50 pounds. So I have to hand stack them and dump them out at the recycling place. I give my job the money, the cash, and the receipt, and they told me go ahead and split it between you and the other two warehouse workers. And I was like, well, thank you. I mean, that's good looking out. Appreciate it. That's something that you look at as your employer, your boss, and you're like, man, I mean, he's looking out for me. I mean, I might as well stay here a little longer, So just little things like that make you think twice of whether you want to leave that job or, is there something else better out there for you? So I think, Mitch being young, Mitch may not be happy with the role that he has. He's always on Twitter talking about, they don't let him play his game. They don't give him the green light. I mean, it is what it is. But so I'm like, I like to have Mitch. He's ambidextrous. We all know his skills. He's a defensive shot blocker. What he brings to the table. But at the same time, he kind of has to be force fed. Like he can't get his own bucket. He still hasn't developed any go-to moves or anything like that. You see him every once in a while with how he cooked Mason Plumlee. I was at the game where he tried to do the same thing to Jusuf Nurkic, and it kind of went off his toe and out of bounds. So you see those small windows of what he could do, but he just can never just put it together consistently. So I mean, rim runners, you can find them. That's kind of basically what Sims is right now, a second round pick, third last in the draft. And I'm not saying that Sims is Mitch, but I mean, they pretty much do the same things just at different levels. Mitch is more of a shot blocker. Jericho Sims isn't, but he can hold his own down in the post too, and they can both guard guys out on the perimeter. Jericho Sims isn't blocking people like Mitch does, whether it's a shooting guard, someone on the perimeter or whatnot. But he's not going to get cooked. He has good lateral movement too. So that's kind of just what I'm getting at. Let me go ahead and salute my boy Cully. What it do?
Salute. What's going on, Pepe?
What it do? Salute some cats in the chat.
Salute.
Sherwin M.
My boy Ron Cleveland. Man. Pulled up. Julian Blum City Smack. Salute. Who else we got to hit? Tricky Nicky. Salute. How are you? Alton, Tessa Chavez. Never saw you before. Hello. Salute. Yeah. Salute, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Anuti, salute. Thank you for tuning in. We talking about Mitch and Sims?
Yeah, we talking about Mitch and Sims. Mitch, the Knicks able to offer him that bag for 4 years, $55 million, and they said that they weren't on the same levels as far as getting a deal done with. So, like I said, I think he's gonna walk. I like Mitch, but I mean, we got Sims right now, so I'm kind of okay with him.
Well, I mean, is Sims out? I mean, is Mitch out? Is he good? Is he okay?
No, I'm talking about as far as him walking. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, long term? I mean, long term. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm okay with Sims, man. To be honest with you, I'm not really expecting too much from that center position, as far as world beater. I agree, Ron. I would pay Mitch that money too. I mean, just pay him out because I don't mind keeping him, but I mean, let's say I'd rather keep him than lose him right now because I don't want that to become a problem that we face. Oh, we need a center because the Knicks knowing the Knicks, they'll replace the center position before they replace the point guard position, and I can't go for that. I can't go for that this next season. With them worrying about getting the center, and then they pay the center all this money, and then we don't have a point guard still, and then we got a center, and then late games we don't have nobody to run the point guard for us, and we can't finish games because we overpaid a big man. I can't do that this next season. I can't do it. A point guard will make Jericho Sims average 15 and 5. And I'm okay with that from Jericho Sims. Imagine what a point guard would do with Mitch. He'll have that man having 20 and 5. And I guess 5 blocks too. 3 blocks. He already gets his blocks. Maybe 20 and 10 a night. Who knows? He'll get his rebounds, all that stuff.
Yeah, a point guard will just make the whole team look better. You know what I mean?
His production will go up. Randall's production will go up. Everybody's.
Yeah, it'd be less thinking for them, and they could just kind of just read and react. And,
way off. You're right.
Instead of trying to think too much and trying to get everybody else involved when they could just cook on their own. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'd like to see him stay, but I just feel like he's gonna leave and just go chase the bag, which I don't blame him. You know what I mean? Go get that money. I would do the same thing. I mean, like I mentioned, I don't know if you caught the beginning when I said that. Remember Luka Vildoza when we could have spread out the money and they ended up being Luka instead? I mean,
right.
I'd be pissed. So so we're on this 3-game winning streak. Tibbs is playing the kids, which we wanted. But I think that's by default, simply because we have no Rose, no Kemba. So with no Rose, no Kemba, and now Burke's playing. Yeah, now Burke's playing the point guard.
Oh, man.
McHugh playing the backup, and then we finally seen a little bit of Deuce, but that's only because Grimes isn't available. So, and we wouldn't have seen Jericho if Noels wasn't hurt. So that's kind of what I'm not trying to give Tibbs his flowers by, he's doing a great job by playing these kids. Now, if we were a fully healthy team, right, then we would not have seen.
Oh yeah, I'm not giving him his flowers anyway, man. Come on, you're a winning coach. You're not winning. You're only playing the kids because you probably got told to at a meeting. You know that the verdict is out. I ain't giving him no flowers anyway. I give him flowers for last season, yes, but this season, no, because the verdict's out. We know you don't like to develop kids. We know you don't care about the rookies. You're a winning coach. You want to win. However, you haven't done so this season. That's all I can say. You haven't done so. You've been on the opposite. You've been on the other end of a winning team. So, yeah. No flowers for Tibbs this year. You're playing the kids by default, and Deuce McBride is a talent. And he's playing nervous because he knows he fears he might get pulled. I don't mind him playing nervous. I just want to see him play. The guy can play defense, And now they won 3 in a row. I'm not liking this. It's good for the Knicks. I mean, it's cool we won, but I'm not liking this, man. I don't want Tibbs to think we have a shot. I don't care about a shot at no playing. We're sitting here happy because we can make a play-in because that's what we're gonna settle for, competing for a play-in. Not you, Sub.
No, I hear you. Because there's 2 different types of Knicks fans. Those who are cheering the Knicks to get the play-in, then those who are, wanting the tank to get a high draft pick. I don't mind the winning as long as we're winning with the kids. As far as I'm concerned. Because like my wife just mentioned in there, default is by experience, you know what I'm saying? Builds experience, which is true. And that's what we want the kids. You have to get on the court. You have to have kind of like hands-on. You got to learn, you got to take your lumps. You got to get hit in the chin and move forward. That's how you learn. I mean, there's different ways how you learn too by watching, but you only do so much by watching on the bench. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get out there and you got to be able to play. And if you're fouling, you got to learn how not to foul. If you're turning the ball over, you got to learn how to not to turn the ball over. But it's a tug and war too, because Tibbs has that short leash on the kids when they make that mistake. He doesn't just let them know, all right, whether it's a dead ball or whatever. He yells all the time, just yell it across the court. Don't foul, stay on your toes, quit hand checking, it's not hand checking anymore, but like quit reaching in, just whatever the case may be, whether it's a dead ball, someone at the free throw line shooting their free throws, you kind of just let them know at that point instead of wasting a timeout, because what happened to us earlier in the season, we didn't have enough timeouts when we needed one because he burned one trying to yell at the kids.
Right. Yeah. Right. I saw somebody comment on another Knicks post that kids are a key part of a team's success, man. And my man Ron was on Blorange. I think it was 2 days ago or yesterday. I heard Ron say, he said, you add the veterans, you sprinkle free agents in, you sprinkle the veterans in. You know what I mean? You get that young talent, you get them going. You see what you have with young talent. That's a proper rebuild. That's when you make a proper rebuild. You go with the youngins. Then when you start seeing success, then you sprinkle in the veterans, or all the free agents, whatever you want, whatever it is, you sprinkle them in. Then that's the cherry on top, man. That's the cherry on top. Then you add, then you add in the veterans to show the youngins how to win. That's how you do it. You don't run through the veterans. Not only, not so much veterans, but role playing veterans. You don't run it through them. That are, veterans. Role players are inconsistent. They're only there to help contribute. They're not there to be, the main factor. They're not. You don't bring in youngins to help out role players or veterans. You bring in veterans to help out the youngins. Why would veterans need help from youngins? They've been in the game. They're savvy enough. They don't need their help. So that's the direction of the team. We need. When the playoffs are out of reach, I think it's time to just go with the youngins. But we won 3 in a row, so we're not the coach. So Tibbs smells blood in the water. So hey, that's And yes, ambiguous slime. Yes, if you guys didn't already, hit the likes, man. Hit the like, ring that bell. Hit the like button. It's free. You can be anywhere in the world. If you're watching, hit the likes. Salute.
You want to throw that link in the chat real quick, Kelly? If anybody wants to join us on the panel, I'm saying we're gonna throw that link in the chat. I'm saying don't be shy. Stop by and say hi. We all Knicks fans at the end of the day, just trying to get this off our chest. You know what I'm saying? Whether we rocking with Tiz, whether we rocking with certain players, because we Knicks fans, but we have certain players that we favor over others. And I'm still trying to get a feel of who Deuce really is offensively. Like we know what Deuce brings defensively. He's been noted as being compared to a Marcus Smart, entering the draft, and you saw that in summer league. You saw that in preseason, how he presses at 94 feet, gets in your chest, very pesty, fights through screens. What's that?
Not to cut you off. Somebody else, I seen on one video, somebody else commented. They said Marcus Smart. They also mentioned Kyle Lowry, and I like that. I like the Kyle Lowry one. A small pit bull. I like that one.
I wanted Kyle Lowry because of that reason too. I was like, he is a good teacher to teach Deuce the game. Salute.
Cleveland. My man Ron.
What's going on, fellas? What's going on with y'all, man?
What's going on?
Chilling. Late night.
Good to see you, Ron. Welcome.
Hey, I've been watching y'all, man. I said, I'm gonna have to pop up here. My man Cully in the building. It's been a while, man. Been a while. Hey, I like what y'all doing, man. Keep that thing classy and clean. You know what I mean? Make that thing flow like water. You heard what I'm saying? But man, hey, I'm with y'all on this thing, man. We got to go this route of keeping these young guys, man. Just play them young guys. We finally got young guys that's ready to hit. You know what I mean? Just let them guys continue to develop. You don't go backwards with how you build your team. And what I mean by that, when I said that thing on Blorange Tears, man, the Knicks been chasing free agents instead of developing our own. When you do a proper rebuild, Year 1, year 2 should be you establishing what you're going to be. And then year 3, you come in with them heavy hitters to help get you over the top. And you see it even in football. The same thing. You see it in baseball. We've been the only team, we've been doing things backwards, man, for a long time. And
running through the vets.
Yeah, man, going and getting guys that was role players and hoping they beat these guys when they get here. And we all know New York City is, man, that's an Instapot, man. It's a pressure cooker. A lot of people can't handle it. And that's why, like, when I talk about Julius, I appreciate what Julius did last year, man, but it's apparent Julius Randle is a different player when he plays in the Garden than how he plays on the road. Anybody who loves Julius Randle got to be honest with themselves. Julius Randle does not play the same way in the Garden like he plays when he's on the road.
Exactly.
And that's a problem for me, man. Effort and energy should never be questioned.
And it's funny because I was looking at him yesterday. He's laughing and smiling. Of course he was. He had a good game, and Knicks was up by like a lot. I'm thinking now, imagine if this was at home and the game was close. He would have a whole different look on his face.
And he's going to miss a free throw.
Huh?
He's going to miss a free throw. If he got 2, he's going to miss 1.
Yeah, he's good to miss a free throw or 2.
Yeah, so, I also mentioned it before. When Julius is having fun, when he's not thinking, though, he could just rack up points, rack up stats. But when they put pressure on him, he just breaks down. Whenever guys get into his head, it's over with because he can't play angry. He has no finesse to his game anymore. His shots are just clanking because they're too hard off the rim. And then when he goes to the hole, I'm saying he's too aggressive. He doesn't have that finesse off the glass anymore because he's playing angry. When Julius plays angry, it's game over. Just don't even think about him getting.
Yeah, he don't think. I agree with that 100%. 100%, man. But I look at, like I said, I hate how this thing is played out because I was looking at Julius Randle. You remember when I still had the show, Cully? I even did a thing, man, a piece on him. I was like, this is what you signed up for. I was proud of it, and I was talking about how Julius Randle is a cautionary tale, and why you don't get rid of a player in their rookie season,
right?
Because a lot of times they go elsewhere and they pop, and they don't be with you. You know what I mean? And I said, wow, we got somebody's mistake in the Lakers. For last year, what Julius Randle was doing, Julius Randle, in my opinion, was the MVP. Period. Because nobody expected for you to even say New York Knicks in 4 seed. That right there was enough. That there was enough, man. But I think it's going to be a problem. The reason why you got to move him is because this is RJ team, and you can see it. You can see it. And my problem is, not my problem, but I don't know if Julius Randle will be willing to take a backseat, and especially for that kind of money you're paying him. I mean, $117 million to be the backseat driver.
117 million, and then this guy didn't even get out of his rookie contract yet, RJ, and it's like, wow,
that's something else to think about.
Something else. Oh man, I think is this the year? Is this the year they got to figure out what they pay him on next year?
Next year.
It's starting next year.
Next year.
It's starting next year.
They got a lot on their hands, man.
But I'm gonna tell you this, Deuce McBride.
Woo, Deuce McBride, man. I've been waiting for this kid to get burned. I'm waiting for. I'm not gonna.
I was with you, man. I was so mad.
They start yet, but
I was looking at this. I'm like, Kemba hurt. Kemba can't play. Derrick Rose out. Tibbs, why aren't you playing this guy? And you having a problem stopping the opposing team's point guards. Why aren't you playing this guy?
Right.
And you saw what happened. It ain't a secret why the New York Knicks is on this 3-game winning streak. People equate that to, they shooting. But you got to look at that defense. That defense have picked up. This guy plus minus have been in the double digits ever since these last 3 games that he played.
Yeah, not to cut you off though.
Go ahead, you good.
We've been saying that from the jump though, that we have a defensive minded coach with a player like Deuce who's defensive first, and he not even playing. When we had a player like Kemba that is a liability on the defense and gets us into this deficit of 11 points every game, why not just flip the script? We're not asking for Deuce to put 20 points up, but what we're asking him to do is be consistently on the defense while others, like Randall, like RJ, Fournier, whoever's out there can get those points, and just he could be that defensive stopper, not stopper, but like one of the better defensive.
But ain't nothing wrong with what you said as a stopper, because that's what he is. That's what he is.
Yeah,
That's what he is. And I'm gonna tell you something that I thought about when I looked at him. Every team that has aspiration to be a champion, you got to have that player like him. And what I mean by that, teams want a player that strike fear and opposing teams offensively, but you got to have that guy that does that defensively. Every team that have won a championship, they've had that guy that defensively teams fear.
Yeah, because during playoffs, the everything shrinks down. It goes to a half court set, and now it's more,
It's smaller.
Yep, absolutely. So you look at the team. Look at Boston. The heartbeat of that team. The heartbeat of that team is Marcus Smart. That defense. You go over and look at Milwaukee. I'm willing.
Not to cut you off. My fault. Last
year.
Go
ahead. You good.
Last year was PJ Tucker.
Yeah, PJ Tucker. Now this year they got the Holiday kid over there, and both of them really was a problem last year. But PJ Tucker was that dude people didn't want to see. You know what I mean? And there was another team I was just sitting there thinking about. It just came to me, man.
You could say the Suns for Jake. Well, Jay Crowder. He's pretty tough. I like Jay Crowder.
Yeah, and that's why they got to the finals.
Yeah,
you gotta have that enforcer, man. And I'm gonna tell you one thing that I loved the other night that I saw, and I can't tell you how many. I want somebody to answer this when I say this now. This is what had me happy when I saw Deuce McBride die for that loose ball. How many times you seen that happen this year? That a player on this team died for a loose ball that wasn't Taj.
The last one that died got hurt, and that was Cam.
I love playing with teammates like that. In my younger days, during junior high school, I had a teammate. He was my boy. He did all the dirty work, just diving for the loose rock. Just getting in people's chests, grabbing boards. He couldn't score offensively, but know your role. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't gonna do all that because I was the scorer. So I needed help from different areas. So that's what his role is right now. Not to say that he can't score offensively.
Exactly. Right now is defense. I agree with you. That's gonna be his calling card. And I agree with Cully. You were saying something, man, that it resonated heavy. The reason why his offense is gonna take time is because he's looking over. Hey, if I make a mistake, coach is gonna get ready to pull me. You know what I mean? Because he ain't gonna pull him for the defense. We know that. It's not gonna be for the defense.
It's gonna be a missed shot or something, or turnover.
That guy is a problem, man. And him and Quickly on the floor together is a problem because Quickly defense ain't no joke neither.
Quickly stepped his defense up, man.
Yeah.
He's pressing. He's pressing too, And I was
going to say talking about IQ now. Don't get me talking about IQ now.
I'm going to tell you, I like IQ. I love IQ when he plays off the ball. I don't like him being the point guard.
Yeah.
Because I want him to do what he does best. And if I'm going to maximize him, I'm going to maximize him shooting that rock.
Yeah.
Same thing with Alex Burks, man. Alex Burks, I don't want Alex Burks trying to run the offense.
You know what?
And I said that when I first came back, Cully. I said, if we depend on Alex Burks, man, we ain't going nowhere. We in trouble.
It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. You know what, Ron? I would run IQ and Grind. IQ and Deuce together, man. For now, I would run them two together.
I like them two together.
I like them two together, man. They could. I don't care how tall they are. That's fine. They're a good little backcourt tandem.
You saw how they looked in summer league together. When it was them two, Obi and Sims. And if you ask me, I think when IQ saw Deuce in summer league and saw how his defensive tenacity picked up, that kind of told IQ, I got to step my game up defensively because
I'm gonna lose my spot.
I got this rookie right behind me trying to take my spot, knowing that Sims is a defensive-minded coach. So, but
I agree, man. Matter of fact, me and Soulfinger was talking about that very same thing. We was like, man, because at the time I think I still had the short end, and I was like, when I looked at Grimes and looked at Deuce, I was like, these guys gonna take somebody's spot. Because Tibbs love defense, and these guys plays defense.
You know what, Ron? It was getting there with Grimes. It was starting to get there.
Oh yeah. Fournier was about to take a backseat.
Yeah, because Tibbs, I think he was liking a lot. He was taking a liking to Grimes.
Yeah, because Grimes got the ability to end up being a two-way player.
See,
You
but
know,
that's what
I
I'm
predict
saying,
the next
though.
3 years. The next 3 years, he'll be a two-way player.
But that's what I'm saying, though. We all see that. We all see that Grimes' defense is there, and we want him to take the Fournier spot. But it's all politics right now.
It's because of the money. It's
Yeah.
because of the money you're paying him. That's the only reason why. That's why I was just looking at Who's Hype earlier this evening, and they were talking about New York. The New York Knicks was trying to get Fournier up out of here, and that's why, because of Grimes.
And
I'm telling you right now, mark my words. Next season, watch the leap McBride makes. And I said this on Blorange Tears this morning. I don't want to hear nobody talk to me about Jalen Brunson. That guy's not special.
I'm with Jalen Brunson though. Like he could do it all. He could handle the rock. You know what I'm saying? He could take the midi. You know what I'm saying? Shoot the threes. I mean, his defense is okay. He's a smaller guard though, but that's one of your last traditional point guards that can set up the table and you know what I'm saying and run the offense and take the ball out of Julius Randle's hands. That's what we want.
But you know what though?
He's not a score first mentality. He's not score first mentality, but if he needs to score, he can score.
Julius ain't gonna take a backseat to him. You think Julius Randle gonna take a backseat to him?
Or RJ?
No, but what I'm saying is when we go stagnant, when Julius can't score and RJ can't score, there's been so many games where we have like 14-point quarters. You know what I'm saying? This kid can actually score and keep us in the game, keep us afloat, and that's kind of what we need. You know, I would take him or I would take a Colin Sexton.
But I'm gonna tell you what, to me, what he's doing is kind of skewed because he's playing along Luka to me, and that for me is I don't know how to fully evaluate him, but I know what I see and what I look at, and what I see in Deuce is that Deuce got the potential to be him and actually better because Deuce defense is above his, and I think Deuce got the ability to be one day just as good as him offensively. So I give the nod to Deuce because defensively he already ahead of him.
Yeah, defensively, yeah, but as far as offensively, Brunson's handle's a lot tighter. He gets to the cup. He has better angles. Use the glass, and he has a nice little midi or fadeaway. So it's just he's done that without Luka there too. When Luka's been hurt, he's been able to take the keys and put up points as well. It just didn't show up for last night.
So the question is that big microwave that's called Madison Square Garden, putting him at that point position in Madison Square Garden.
He can
have.
I
like.
You don't have concerns?
No, because I like those small guards who people overlook. Those ones who are undrafted. Those Van Fleets, Brunsons, put them in the same category. Second round, and they have that chip on their shoulder. They have that chip on their shoulder that they always been overlooked. So when he gets that payday, and I actually think it's going to be with us because they got rid of.
Well, I hope not. I hope you're wrong. This is one time I'm gonna disagree with you. I hope you're wrong because, and the reason why I'm gonna tell you this: when you call Van Vliet name, that's who I wanted. That's who I wanted because he's gonna play defense and he's gonna score. And he was trained by Kyle Lowry, and that's who. Matter of fact, when I was looking at Deuce game, when he was coming up, I was looking at him. I said, you know who he remind me of? He remind me of Kyle Lowry, a young Kyle Lowry before he got real good. And he remind me of a young Chauncey Billups before Chauncey Billups got real good.
Ron, I got a question for you. Ron,
what's up, Chicken?
Salute, guys. Salute, Subliminal, Coley, Ron, man.
It's been a while, man. Good to hear your voice.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I got a question for you though. And when you bring up Chauncey Billups, I'm from Michigan, so I know all about Mr. Big Shot.
Yes,
but when I'm sitting there and I'm saying to myself, and you're saying the things you're saying, why do you think he is capable of becoming someone like Mr. Big Shot, someone like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I'll tell you why. Because if you look at Chauncey, when Chauncey first came in the league, Chauncey wasn't who he became with Detroit. He struggled for a little bit. Matter of fact, they were getting ready to put the bus label on him.
3 or 4 teams.
Got traded to teams.
Yeah, he was getting ready to get that bus label.
Mm-hmm.
When he got to Detroit, it was like light went off. Sometimes players, they blossom later.
And then the right fit.
And it is all about right fit. That's what it all come down to. Hey, Brunson, could he be? I can tell you this subliminal. Now, this is what I am going to say about Brunson. currently right now, he would be better than any of our point guards. But I'm saying projection-wise for Deuce, I think that Deuce got the ability, projection later on, probably within 3 years, to be better than him. That's all. But currently right now, if you're telling me, hey, I might have to take a fly on him, especially if that gets Julius out of having to be the point guard. Because Julius Randle, they don't need to have Julius Randle trying to play that point forward. They hurt Julius more than anything by doing that.
Yeah,
The more he has to think about other people, is it takes away from him. When he can just go and put his foot on the gas pedal, shoot, score, rebound.
Yeah,
I love that. I love to see that.
And that's a fact because Deuce even brought that, or Randall brought that up when Deuce was playing, and Randall said, "I didn't have to think."
Mm-hmm.
You know, so when you got a point guard out there that allows you to have the opportunity to not think about what you're doing, and you could just take the shot or make the play, make the pass, that's a different scenario for Randall.
Oh yeah. When Randall can just react, even Clyde says it all the time. When he, and everybody's seen it, when he don't have to think. That whole series, when we lost that Atlanta series, you can see it. Julius Randle was thinking so much instead of reacting. And anytime in sports, when you get a player thinking instead of reacting, you're gonna have problems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The only time I want to see Randle with the Rock is when he gets a rebound and he goes coast to coast, full steam ahead. Can't nobody stop him.
I don't even know if I want to see that. I want to see him close to that basket.
I love him in the post. Beating somebody up.
Yeah. He needs to be in the post.
When he settles for too many fadeaways in the post, you're kind of just bailing him out on the bailing the defense out by setting for those fadeaways instead of pivoting and turning into them.
And that's on Tom Thibodeau, man.
I don't want to see him shooting no more threes. I don't want to see him shooting any threes off the dribble. I think he should get set up. If he's going to shoot a three, let somebody set him up to do it. No,
because it's within the flow. Don't just be dribbling and dribbling.
Right, like it's one thing if you're a capable three-point shooter. I think he's capable. You know, if you set him up and he's wide open, he can shoot the three. But as far as him trying to take a guy off the dribble and do a step back or left to right dribble, no. And as far as what you said, Ron, I give Deuce 2 years, not 3. I give him 2, maybe 1.
Yeah,
maybe one.
I think he's gonna take a major jump when he comes in this season.
He's gonna take a jump.
I'm gonna tell you the one thing I always say, Cully, about players. To your point. And I'm sorry, man. I'm just excited, man. I'm just really excited for these young guys more than anything. Ain't but this record of this team because we trash.
Yeah, not to cut you off though, Rob. But when's the last time we had all these young players? That's the thing.
That's why I'm excited, Sublime.
Yeah,
that's exactly why. But I'm gonna tell you this: one thing I've always said about players is when a young player realizes that they belong, that they can play, that's when you're in trouble.
That's what RJ is doing, right?
Exactly. RJ knows that he belongs. Grimes with that confidence get there. You can't take that confidence away. Even when they have a bad shooting night, hey, I'm gonna do something else to affect the game. RJ, if he have a bad shooting night, he going to the basket. And you can't stop him. Everybody knows in the world he going left, and you still can't stop him. That's a problem. And now that right hand done woke up, and he's naturally right-handed. So it's the sky's the limits for the Knicks, man. And Cam Reddish is a keeper in my book. He's a keeper.
RJ is naturally a slasher, so him improving the shooting is another aspect of his game, which is pretty good. So
that 3-point shot from the wing, is pretty much automatic. When he shoots it, I'm like, oh, you may as well go run the other way.
Before that, it was the mid range. Everything mid range was automatic. Now he extended his range. He probably going to extend it some more. Who knows? I can't wait to see him next season. How confident he is. Because sometimes with the young guys, like you were saying, Ron, to add on to your point, sometimes with the young guys, it's just the confidence. Once they got that confidence, it's over. Once the game starts to slow down, they see, okay, I can attack from this angle. Once they I was seeing that with Grimes. He was starting to get more comfortable.
Man.
McBride, it'll be good.
And we can't leave out Jericho, man.
You know what?
Tibbs is teeing me off with Jericho, though.
I was going to
he's falling in love with putting Taj back in the game, man. And I love what Taj has done for this team. But it's Jericho's time, man. Let that young fella continue to grow, man. Like last night, the guy had 2 fouls, and we didn't see him again. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And in that game, especially especially when Dallas was no threat in the paint, I'm letting that kid play because we handled that game from beginning to end. It was no doubt in my mind that we were going to win that game. It was never a doubt.
Right.
His best game was 0 points and 13 rebounds.
Yeah.
Like
what I like about Sims is like his poise, he's so calm. He kind of reminds me of like a young kid who's just a sponge, just soaking everything in. He's not going to get mad. He's not going to talk. He's like a player's coach. Is someone who's going to take all the direction that you ask him to do and put it out there on the court. And he's so fundamentally sound as far as, staying on your feet, not falling for pump fakes.
You know what, Sublime, to your point, him and RJ, man, them guys got that poker face. You don't know whether or not them guys having a bad day or a good day. They look the same way no matter what's going on.
As a matter of fact, did you hear? Let me ask y'all. Did y'all hear?
I'm gonna be right back, man.
No doubt. Y'all ever hear JJ Redick's podcast?
No, I haven't.
So
I watch it, but no.
There was one on there about Jericho Sims. I just seen it yesterday or 2 days ago, and it was when they played Miami, and Sims, I think it was the last game against Miami. He caught an alley, I think, or something like that. And Mark and the guy Strus said something to Sims like, "Whoa, like chill out, like you getting up there." So he said Duncan Robinson was on JJ Redick's podcast, by the way. So Duncan Robinson was telling the story. So so Jericho Sims was at the free throw line. He was shooting the free throw. So Strus was like, chill out. You get up, like you got crazy bounce. So Jericho Sims said to Strus, he's like, yo, ask your boy about my bounce. He was talking about Duncan Robinson. So after the game, Strus asked Duncan Robinson. He's like, yo, what's he talking about? So Duncan Robinson had to show him a video of him in college. He got dunked on by Jericho Sims in college. Jericho Sims got up there, like up. I didn't even know about that. I forgot all about that. And it was just funny to know that Jericho Sims talks spicy like that. He's quiet. He's a quiet dude. He got a lisp. He's a quiet dude, an awkward, quiet dude, And it was so funny to hear that story about him. I was like cracking up. And I was
I think a lot of the guys on the Knicks right now, they are quiet dudes. Like a lot of them. RJ's that way. And you look at Randall. Randall is that way, and we take it out on him maybe too much. But if you look at it, you remember that lob RJ threw to Sims?
Right.
That was crazy sick. We know he can get up there. But the problem is the guy's got to get a shot, and he's got to be able to defend. And I like Sims a lot. Sims rebounding.
That's how Mitch was too, though, Tricky Nicky. Mitch was always really quiet too until
right.
What was the guy's name from the Clippers?
Very good point.
Then what was his name? The guy from the Clippers went to the Brooklyn, and now he's the backup for the Lakers.
DeAndre
Jordan. Yeah, DeAndre Jordan. So when DeAndre Jordan joined us for that small time, he was trying to take him under his wing and trying to get Mitch to be more outspoken because as a defender, a rim protector, you're the anchor of the defense. You kind of got to
defense.
Yeah,
but for him to be so young and quiet, but come out and maybe he's not a scorer. That's not what we need. Like when you got Sims and Deuce on the floor, you got two guys that are juggernauts when it comes to defense and rebounding. And that is the perfect thing to replace Mitch Robinson and say Alec Burks. That's what we got for now. Those are the two perfect guys to replace as long as you got RJ and Randall. And I wish Cam didn't get hurt, but I'm saying like we can score points.
Yeah, but I'm
gonna tell y'all like this about Mitch, man.
I don't think we're replacing Mitch though. He's not replaceable. What he brings.
No, I'm not saying replacing Mitch. I am the one that's saying you better sign him. You sign him now. You give him the max.
Well,
Mitchell Robinson. But I'm saying when Mitch goes to the bench or he had a bad steak or whatever, for Sims to come in and give that type of production is huge for us. I like them both.
Oh yeah. They're the perfect complement. They are the perfect complement. And I'll tell you this about Mitch, because I was, trying to, like put a value on Mitch. And really, You know that phrase, the unicorn they throw around, right? They was throwing that for KP.
Oh man,
Yeah,
That's
he's a defensive
that's really
unicorn.
what Mitch is. Because and the reason why I say that, Mitch is able to affect the game scoring wise. He scores. We don't run anything for him.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a point guard that really can consistently find him. RJ takes on that role of trying to find him, and it's real ironic that really didn't start happening until after Mitch made that little post about how would you feel running up and down the court 40 minutes and they ain't never touching the ball, basically. You know what I mean? So RJ is the only one who consistently looks for Mitch. And Mitch gets all of his points off putbacks. Like the other night, Julius Randle shot an air ball. That dude's ability to get to loose balls is something you can't teach. And primary example why you give him that money, you look at when he played against DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton is a center that does not function without having a point guard. Chris Paul being out of that lineup, you see how it's affecting. That don't matter with Mitch. And then the defense, you know you're gonna get the defense. $12 million is nothing a season to pay Mitch. That is nothing to pay him. Matter of fact, because once he gets the free agency, it's gonna be 15 plus. I saw a little article on that today too about Mitch, saying they'll end up being about 15 million. They'll have to overpay to try to keep him. Go ahead and pay that 12 million now and keep him, and get Nerlens Noel up out of here, because that's the problem. He's stealing some of Mitch's money.
The only thing about Mitch though is when it comes, like, say we actually make the playoffs or we do make the playoffs, we're playing against centers, that top tier centers that he never does good against. You know, the Jokers, the Embiids, the Vucevic though. But I'm just saying though, like when it comes down to playoff time, that's when it matters. So,
but you got to think about this too, Subliminal. Who plays good against them guys? I mean, them two guys, you talking about MVP caliber guys.
He played good Embiid early in the season. Remember he shut Embiid down like the first week of the season.
And Embiid was who is this guy?
That's when he was overweight though. That's when he was overweight, and he can match him. He can match him by body weight. But now he lost a lot of that body weight. And
I'm gonna tell you another reason why you go ahead and do it, Subliminal. Because when the New York Knicks finally addressed that point guard position, watch what Mitchell Robinson consistently averages.
Right. And
that's 16 to 17 points a game.
15 and 10 or something.
It's gonna be easy.
Hey, Ron.
It's gonna be easy.
I want to say this. There's one thing about like RJ Barrett driving to the hoop and IQ. Like Mitch already knows what they're doing. And so he is on that offensive board. He is putting it back right away. He's already under the rim, right?
Yeah.
To begin with. So when RJ's going in there and he's going left and he's showing he can go right sometimes, but when he's doing it and it's bouncing off the rim, he is the first guy there to put it back. He's averaging when we get 5 offensive boards from Mitch, this team is unstoppable. And we've seen it for the past 4 or 5 games. We saw it in Phoenix. We shouldn't have lost to them. Cam Johnson had a miraculous shot, and we lost.
Yeah.
We should be 4-0, but what I'm saying is with Mitch, I think Mitch and RJ have that type of camaraderie where, hey, I'm going to go to the hoop. You better be there to pick me up when I fail.
And that's what I love. I love about them too is like, you notice now, like when RJ got that ball and he's coming down and Mitchell Robinson is coming off of that pick and roll, like teams are undecided whether or not to really try to force themselves to RJ because they know that lob,
the Gotham lob,
there you go, is a potential to happen. And Mitchell Robinson and RJ is running that thing to perfection.
Yeah, but he still can't stay out of foul trouble though. Like he caught 2 quick ones in the beginning.
But you know what, though, that
the other day, you know what I'm saying? Like
it was an anomaly.
Block everything.
He been doing pretty good with staying out of foul trouble. It's just, he had them games every now and then. You be like them head scratch. You be like, man, come on, Mitch. You know what I mean? And everybody had that once in a while, but overall as a whole, man, Mitchell Robinson, you gotta keep him. And then we all gotta remember this: the guy only played high school, no college, college.
But it's year 4. It's year 4 now, Ron. And what's his go-to move?
But the thing is, too, you don't have a big man really on that staff that really teaching Mitch.
Where's our developmental staff at?
There
though?
you go. That's the
why
problem.
aren't they teaching them a baby hook? You know what I'm saying?
We need a bona fide big. Mitchell Robinson need to go see Patrick Ewing.
You don't ever hear about that though,
Go
Ron.
see a team. Go see one of them guys, man.
You always see him doing, videos of him going through the legs, looking like a pterodactyl dribbling a marble. You don't ever see him out there, like you said, with the Kareem, with the Hakeem, with one of those bigs that have good footwork and can give you go-to moves. Like
go see Marcus Camby.
He doesn't take the game serious. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see him elevating his game. He still can't make
subliminal. I just want to make this comment. Like, Mitch doesn't know what he's doing yet. And the reason he doesn't know what he's doing yet is because RJ Barrett never figured out his game until this year. So when you got other players on your team trying to figure out their own style and their own game, and they're going to play their own game, you got RJ Barrett finally with confidence, shooting the ball good. You got Randall finally coming back. Like, he's finally coming back. Like, the first half of the season was trash with Randall. Let's be real. So when you got these guys coming back, Mitch has got to evolve around them and figure out his game with them. It's hard for Mitch to do. I'm just saying, it's hard for him to do.
My biggest problem is, and I'm gonna stick out to this, and I said this even last year. I think it's more Tibbs holding Mitchell Robinson back than Mitchell Robinson. Because my thing is I'm seeing the same videos you talking about with the guy taking shots and making them. Why he ain't doing that with us? Why he ain't even taking a jump shot?
I would think Tibbs would encourage him to shoot the shots now.
Well, you know what? I would have said that, but it's real funny to me because he used Jericho Sims the same exact way. And Jericho Sims got a nice little offensive game to himself.
Right.
Before he came, look at how he was playing before he came when he was in college. He wasn't just doing what he's doing with the Knicks. You know what I mean? I watch him even in the pregame. I'm seeing this guy. He got a little push shot floater. We don't ever see that in the games.
A little baby hook.
Yeah, we don't ever see that.
Yeah.
So I got a question. I gotta look at this coaching staff and like, hey, are they holding these kids back? And Mitchell Robinson even alluded to it. Remember, Mitchell Robinson said, "I just want to play." And everybody was like, "What do you mean he want to play? He playing." No, he's trying to tell you he want to be able to play his game. And this was right after all that stuff started leaking with him, dribbling between the legs and shooting threes and all that.
If Taj Gibson is out there popping trays and Noels is popping middies, then Mitch got the green light to take something.
But it's a little different though. Think about this subliminal. Them guys are veterans, right? And one of them been with Tibbs at every stop.
I don't care though, because
even down at the Grand Central
starter,
Station.
though. If you're the starter in the position, Tibbs ain't going to take you out as a starter, as the defensive anchor of the team. Like, okay, he took a shot. He may take a timeout, go yell at him, whatever. But like they say, shoot your shot. You know what I'm saying?
Think about this.
It does matter.
This is another reason why it could be that Tibbs got a hand in this. Remember how many block shots Mitchell Robinson used to get before Tibbs came?
Right.
He don't go after all them blocks like how he used to.
On the 3-point line?
Yeah, he used to get 3-point blocks. He used to be guarding point guards on the wing and swatting their shot. You don't even see that from Mitch no more.
Right.
No, you don't.
The philosophy has changed. All because of your coach.
I'd rather him not doing that because it's just a highlight play, just blocking out on the perimeter. It's better for him to be on the court than just because I always tease, joke around saying that Mitchell Robinson is like a pit bull in the yard that's not leashed up. They're not going to challenge him. No one's going to go into that yard with that.
They're crazy.
With that pit, with that pit bull out there. Jericho Sims, he's a pit bull that's chained inside the yard. So they're going to go in there, open the gate, and test them a little bit. You know what I'm saying, but not Mitch.
I wish we get a real big man on this coaching staff to teach Mitch and them guys, man, to develop them guys. Because I mean, even a little 10-foot jump shot, man. Yeah, that would do so much for this offense. You know what I mean? The spacing would be a whole lot better.
Hey Ron, you ever saw that game against the Hornets when he took Plumlee off the dribble.
Oh, man, my eyes got so big. The game. That's the game. I think he got hurt in that game. He hurt his his hand or something. Or ankle.
I think
I was like, oh, look at Mitch.
But what about when he was in a passing lane and stole the ball, went behind the back and started the fast break?
Yeah.
And he didn't even think about it. It was just
instinctive.
Just do it.
Yeah, and even remember when he dribbled the ball between his legs, it was like, what is he about to do? Hey, it's a lot more to Mitch, man, than what we said. And matter of fact, remember Taj even said that in practice. He said they just ain't unleashing me. I remember that. He said the guy got a lot more to him than people know.
He's 23, 24. I mean, you look at this guy, Mitchell Robinson, and we can all agree, like, okay, well, he's not where we want him to be, but what he's doing now, averaging a double-double, and lately, like, just a terror. Like he is terrorizing opponents. Got Ayton up.
Got nurtured too.
If you think about it, like, this guy, how is he not worth what he wants?
Yeah, $12 million ain't
He's
nothing
so
for
young.
what that guy bring you, man.
And the salary cap's going up.
The guy broke Will Chamberlain completion percentage too.
Right.
Don't take that from him. But somebody, what people say, well, all he did was dunk and put back. Hey, he still did it.
Even if if we signed him for 4 years to the max and he didn't play 1 minute, I'd be more happy with him than I would be with Noel.
And guess what?
And
guess what, Tricky? Guess what else? But what you saying? If Mitchell Robinson don't progress any further and you gave him $48 million for what he does, that's a good contract.
Yeah, it's a good
That's
contract.
what I'm saying, though, Ron. That's why I feel like Mitch will go to a Detroit Pistons team that have like a Cade.
You better keep him off my Pistons. Keep him off my Pistons.
He's going to end up in Dallas.
Cade Cunningham don't need him. It's just another Andre Drummond coming here.
You could use him, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Dallas will snatch him. Mark Cuban will get him.
Yeah, that's all. That's all I'm saying, though. That's all I'm saying. We can't have too much money invested in the center position.
And that was something I said too, Subliminal. I agree with you on that.
Right.
That's the problem. That's where that Nerlens deal come in as a major problem. If they could stretch that deal up, get him off of these books, I wish they'd bring that amnesty back because he'd be up out of here on the first day smoking. Because they should have never given him that kind of money before you paid Mitch. It was common sense, though. Think about it. You got a young center that's developing, and you got another center that's older that stays injured too. That came to the Knicks with knee problems.
And he just drafted
me, I'm going to pay him before I pay the younger guy? That's stupid.
Yeah, it's dumb.
I fear them losing Mitch and then prioritizing the need for that position instead of a point guard. I fear that happening.
Yeah, and I think that's why they went and got Jericho Sims, because they feel like when they got Jericho Sims, that symbolizes in my book, when they got Jericho Sims and the fact that they paid Nerlens Noel is they was banking on Nerlens Noel being that center, and they was going to let Mitchell Robinson walk. By you paying Nerlens Noel, that's all you telling us, is that you're going to let Mitch, and telling him, we're going to let you walk. But now they got to double back because Nerlens Noel is not available. Best ability in sports is availability. If you're not available, you have no ability, and that's what they're running into with Nerlens Noel.
And you know what bothers me about Mitch the most is the fact that we as Knicks fans, we've been so hard on that guy. We've been so hard. We've been complaining. He ain't doing this. He ain't doing that. He's always hurt. And then for him to show out and show up the way he did this year, people want to say, oh, well, he was hurt this year. He wasn't hurt. He missed maybe a game or here. He didn't miss 25 games. When Randall went off last year, Mitch was hurt. That was hurt. This year, he wasn't hurt.
Yeah, Mitch came back from that broken foot, too. You know what I mean?
Mitch gave us
I just feel like we just have too many carbon copies of the same types of centers.
Yeah, I'm with you. We got 3 of them, and one of them got to go, and that's Nerlens Noel. If I'm in that front office, I'm doing everything I can to get him up out of town.
Yeah, I'm getting rid of Taj. I'm bringing him to the staff. You know what I'm saying? Let him be be a coach on the staff. Open up that $5 million. Get rid of Noel's. There opens up that's $16 million. You just open up right there. Then go out and get. I'm gonna say it again. Go out and get either a stretch five. There's like a juice off Nurkic that's out there, or you go get a point guard. Man.
Go find. You know who would be good on this team, and this is a guy that's a very good role player center that you don't hardly hear anybody talk about, but every stop he goes at, he balls. Kelly Olynyk.
We said that, Kelly.
He's from the Pistons. Why would you want him? I watch him every day.
Kelly
and
Olynyk
he is not that good.
Player, man. He's a good ball player.
Well,
he knows
not in
role.
Detroit.
It matters. He knows his role. He can shoot.
He knows his role. You're not gonna see him on no blotter report. He's gonna be a good teammate. You know what I mean? And the guy got footwork.
He'll be a good teammate.
He could actually help Mitch with Mitch footwork. Being the backup.
My problem with Kelly Olynyk, like from Michigan, watching him on the Pistons, like he is not the guy you want to bring to New York for the contract.
Too
much money.
What is he getting paid?
I believe he's on a 4-year, $70 million.
4 years, 70? No.
It's not a lot.
If he getting 70, somebody needs to be fired
it's enough.
Like yesterday.
Well, I'm just saying. I wouldn't want Kelly Olynyk on the Pistons. I always thought Jeremy Grant from the Detroit Pistons, but nobody agreed. So
I like Jeremy Grant. I like him too.
He'd be a good wing, yes.
And Christian Wood. I like him too. He's another good young ball player. But the thing is, man, if you look at these teams in the league, and I told people this, man, basketball, football, all these sports, man, baseball, it's a young man's game, man. We look at all these teams that's balling. They're young, man. You look at Memphis. You look at Cleveland.
You look at LeBron and the Lakers being old.
The older teams are struggling, man.
We see it. Yeah.
The younger teams are ascending and they're coming.
They can't keep up. They can't. It's a lot more youngins out there. They can't keep up with them youngins, man.
But we're not gonna figure it out until we get our players into their natural positions, like IQ at the 2, Deuce at the 1. Take RJ, put him back at the 2, bring Cam in, put him at the 3, and then quit playing this politics. I'd rather have Fournier, with the second unit running the offense through him, a lot slower, having your vet there when they can't score, when they're running and gunning, he could come through.
And
I want to get to Ron's point though. Why do you want Kelly Olynyk?
Why I want him is because he can stretch the floor. We have not had a big when Cully started talking about a stretch 5. He can stretch and he can play defense. He's not just a one-trick pony.
Yeah, we just need a stretch 5. It doesn't have to be Kelly Olynyk. It could be
anybody. As long as it's a stretch 5, I'll just use him as an example.
Someone who opens up the paint for Julius and RJ to operate, because both those guys are slashers. You know what I'm saying? And it just eliminates the defender and makes it open lanes for those guys to get going. That's kind of what we're getting at.
And I tell you another thing, man. When I look at with this team, I'm like, the Knicks are not far off, man. If the Knicks get a legit point guard, it's over.
Yep,
it's over. That's been our Achilles heel. We get a legit point guard, it's over. And I'm gonna tell you, there's one that I like down there in Cleveland, and he is gonna be the odd man out.
Well, Darius Garland isn't coming here.
No, not Garland.
I said Sexton earlier. Yeah, I said I would have took Brunson or Sexton. So that's kind of who I wanted last year.
I'm taking Sexton before I take Brunson.
Yeah, the young bull.
The young bull ain't afraid of the bright lights. Mm-hmm. Hey, we know what he does against Brooklyn. He ain't afraid of them guys. He ain't afraid of nobody.
He ain't afraid of them.
Yeah,
he ain't afraid of nobody, man. And the thing is,
why is he on the Cleveland?
He's hurt.
He's coming back. He's coming back off of I think it was an MCL. He had an MCL injury.
Yeah,
it wasn't the ACL. It was the MCL.
Oh, okay, he tore it against us.
That's all.
And I saw a video where he was working out and stuff. You know what I mean? So he's ready. He's ready. And he's eager to prove that he's back.
And then what you got in Cleveland, like they're winning. So if you got Darius Garland there winning, I mean, they would be potentially willing to let him go.
Oh yeah, because they ain't gonna pay him and they ain't gonna have to pay Garland. That's two backcourt guys you're gonna have to pay money. they're gonna let one of them go in my brain. I'm gonna move the guy that ain't had an injury. I mean,
Right.
the guy that had an injury. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then you look at how that team is playing without him. That's what's making them expendable.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
You don't mess up that chemistry.
Nope.
Because them boys is doing. You know, when I look at Cleveland is doing what the Knicks was supposed to have done.
Yeah, they didn't care. That they had a Sexton. They drafted Garland, or however it went, vice versa. You know, they
kept going till they got it right.
They took the best player available, and that's not what we did.
Well, I don't think it was so much that. I think a lot of it was Tibbs not playing the younger guys.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. If Deuce and them young guys was playing sooner, like I'm gonna tell you,
he could have played them too much earlier.
When January hit, if we would have went with them young guys, we would be talking about a whole different Knicks team. We would have probably been fighting for the AC.
Yep.
Instead of trying to get in the fight to get into some playing.
Right.
Because
it hurt.
Defense give you a chance to win any day, man. And I'm gonna tell you, when I was watching them last night against Dallas, man, it looked like it was 6 people on the court for the Knicks, man. They were flying. The boys was flying around, man. I was so happy there. I was like, when the last time I looked at this team playing defense like this?
Coley, subliminal. I'm gonna mute myself for here about 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
No problem. No problem.
Oh, Will Sawkins said Kelly is 3 year 37.
3 year 37.
3 year 37.
Okay.
Yeah,
that ain't a bad contract for him.
I'm with you though, Ron. We got to either get Colin Sexton, and then we got to get this point guard situated and figured out, because we got to let go of Kemba. I don't know why we kept him around. I think he had a no trade clause or not a no trade clause, but a no waive clause. Like you couldn't waive him. But next year you got to get rid of him. You got to open up that $8 million too. And why do we have Brock Alder for? Why do we have this? This numbers cruncher if we can't figure out how to bring a Colin Sexton in
and that's a problem too. That front office is too many people. From what I was told, what I'm hearing, there's too many people in the front office. Too many voices, man.
Too many cooks in the kitchen, huh?
Everybody can have an opinion, but you got to have one voice. And I'm gonna tell you like this: I'm not no fan of our front office. For one, Leon Rose was not qualified to be no front office guy. Him nor Worldwide West. That was mistake number one. Those guys were not qualified. And if you got them on the basis of saying they got relationships and they can bring players here, they fail in that regards. So
what about all
I'm seeing right now, I don't trust our front office, because everybody know we need a point guard. Do I feel comfortable in believing that they're gonna go get us the point guard that we need? The fact that they even talking about Jalen Brunson to be our starting point guard, I don't like that. That ain't gonna move no needle, man. We've been getting them type of point guards for years.
And that's all connection too.
Back up, yeah, because his dad played for the team, and that's the only time you hear me talk about, players' parents and stuff. But his dad played for the team.
So what about all the assets that we accumulated with the Ed Davis trade? We picked up Ed Davis for a second-round pick, got rid of Ed Davis before he even joined the Knicks, and we picked up another second-round pick, and then just all the movements that they did, getting rid of DSJ and getting
that.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Thank you, Ryan.
I'm glad you brought that up, because my thing is, man, and people that have been listening to the morning drive, they've heard me say this, man, and I'm gonna keep saying it, man. I don't care what we got to do, somehow, some way, man. We need an aggressive front office guy, man. You're not gonna win in this NBA if you're afraid to make moves.
Right.
You gotta make, and I ain't talking about just going out and finding a guy to fill a spot.
No, you gotta make
New York,
stars
the Knicks,
come.
We as Knicks fans, we've been suffering so long that we need somebody to come in there and go swing for the fences for a grand slam. To get somebody in here that people say, oh,
I've been wanting Donovan Mitchell. What about
the Knicks
that?
ain't playing. And that's why that front office, in my scenario, if I'm James Dolan, I'm calling OKC and I tell him, hey, if I got to give you 2 first-round picks to get Sam Presti, I do it because my man D's Ballin brought it up yesterday. I think he said they got 26 first round picks or some ridiculous number.
Yeah, so why would they want 2 more?
Hey,
Right.
when you know why you do it?
No,
Because-
Why not?
Why
not?
Why
not?
they would want 2 more?
No,
Why
why
not?
does OKC want 2 more picks when they have?
I tell you why.
Why not?
When they're a franchise where you know superstars ain't going there, your best way to try to get one is to draft one. And you got the ammunition to keep drafting one, or maybe trade for a disgruntled one that's maybe got 4 years left on their contract or something like that. But ain't nobody knocking down the door to go there. You see what I'm saying? So I understand their thinking behind it.
You
But
just don't let guys.
draft picks are gold, man. Draft picks are gold, and the Knicks used to throw them away for so long, man.
Yeah, you just don't let guys out of your office like that. Kind of like the guy from Toronto who made all those.
Masai
moves.
Ujiri, another aggressive guy, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
guys. Yeah, guys like that. You just don't let them walk out the door.
Nah, man, you got to get
give
them
them,
guys,
you
man.
give them
Jerry
more
West,
power.
Jerry
Why
West
are
is
they
another
doing
one.
that?
You need an aggressive front office guy, man.
Mhm.
We got this guy who want to go shop at Kmart, man.
But I'm okay with them not. What if tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but if you woke up and found out that they sold the farm for a Damian Lillard,
I don't want
veteran
that.
who.
I'd be
That's what I'm
mad.
saying though. So
The
I'm,
only reason why I'd be mad with that because of his age, not because of
exactly.
Yeah.
what he gives you. It's because of the age.
That's what I'm getting at. It has to be.
It got to be the right
someone
one.
who fits the timeline. Someone who fits the young timeline.
Well, I
Yeah.
was saying Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah,
Like,
Donovan Mitchell is another one. I hear they're
I
plotting to try
would
to
be
get him.
good with him. I
But
would be
Donovan
okay
Mitchell
with him.
isn't going to get traded without RJ being involved in that deal.
No. I heard rumors that it was gonna be Cam Reddish, Obi Toppin, 3 first-round picks for Donovan. I would do it. I would pull that plug in a second.
I would do that. But who's to say that someone else can't? Someone else can't give a better deal.
Well, I'm not saying that.
Well,
OKC's got a lot
they're
of
already
picks,
talking about
so.
it. That New York, the Knicks and OKC pretty much is your 2 teams that got major stuff to pull off anything that they want to do.
OKC has a lot
Right.
more picks and a lot more young talent to make that deal.
I just don't trust Leon Rose, man. Ain't nothing he showed me in 2 years give me faith to believe that he gonna do the right thing.
Hey,
Now,
Ron,
I'm gonna give him 1 more year.
have you seen Leon Rose once?
One time he made a comment, and that's a shame, man.
Oh,
any franchise, especially when you got the most valuable one, you need to speak to the fans and let us know what your direction is.
I haven't seen him. Like, I've been watching this Knicks team since Randall went off in the bubble, and I haven't seen Leon Rose once.
He's hiding, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna give them 1 more year and see what they do. Like in this draft.
So what kind of grade you give him thus far with what they've done? And you can grade them, free agency, draft, however you want to grade them, in each of those sections.
Yeah. Okay. By section. I mean, you go with the Obi and the IQ. IQ is my favorite player on the Knicks. So to me, he's that diamond in the rough.
I like
Obi's still yet to be determined.
I agree with you on Obi.
He has flashes of what he can do, but when Rose went down, it kind of stopped his production. So what was that? Grimes. I mean, just the way he maneuvered in the draft and getting Grimes. Who do we get? We got Jokovitis. We got a Deuce. We kind of moved around in the draft, so I'm okay with the Grimes and a Deuce because the players that I guess we wanted already got picked before our pick.
Yeah, because they wanted Duarte.
Yeah,
they really wanted Duarte.
The Duarte, the Trey Mann, the Trey Murphy. Those guys got picked right ahead of us. So I'm okay with Grimes. There's other players like Kai Jones that aren't even playing. So I'm okay. I'm okay with that. And then we ended up trading that Hornets pick for a Cam Reddish.
Hey, Coley.
So
what's
as
up?
far as drafting, okay, free agents. So I'd give them a B for drafting. As far as free agents, I think they dropped the ball. I know they dropped the ball on free agents.
I'm with you on that.
I would have to,
That's my thinking too.
Give
It's
it
like
an
drafting wise, and that's really because of Walt Curran and that thing. I give them an A with what they've done drafting, but that free agency, man, I got to give them an F. And if I can give them an F plus, I would give them an F plus.
Yeah, please.
But if they made their wrongs right, and by letting Kemba walk, trading Noels, getting rid of Fournier, moving him to the bench, and then bringing in other players, that would kind of make it a wash if it's the right players that fit in, and a Burks too. If you're going to get rid of Burks or let him go back to the bench as being a natural 2 or 3, because at one point in the beginning of the year, we had one of the strongest benches in the NBA. We were like
guys was playing in their right roles.
Yeah, we were like top 4
coming into the season.
Yeah, coming into the season, and we were even talking about it that our bench looks way better than our starters.
Yeah, and they did, and they played better than the starters. I've never seen anything like that, man. All my years of watching basketball, I've never seen where the starters were terrible in comparison to the bench.
Right,
never seen.
They just had a faster pace.
Ron.
Yeah.
Let me ask Coley a question. I got a question for Coley. He's been kind of quiet, but hey, Coley, like when you watch what the Knicks have done over the past 3 to 4 games on the West Coast trip, would you change anything, or would you let it roll?
As far as the rotations.
As far as anything you want to change. In my opinion, when we beat Dallas 107-77, we should have beat Phoenix. We blew out every team we faced. And I got a feeling, I'm going to put this, Tricky Niggy's announcing it right now. Memphis will lose tomorrow by at least 15 points.
I'm gonna tell you what. That's where the streak stops tomorrow. I'm here to be the bearer of bad news.
Probably they're a little physical, so I don't know.
we not beating Memphis.
I disagree.
As far as changing anything, no. You don't fix what's not broken. So
you know why you ain't gonna beat Memphis? I'm gonna tell you. I got one.
I'm gonna tell you, RJ will beat Memphis alone.
Ja going up against anybody in that starting lineup trying to guard him is over.
You don't got the answer for him.
You don't have no answer for him.
Are you telling me RJ and Randall aren't answers for him?
No. What I'm saying, they can match his point production, but you don't have a point guard to stop him from doing what he wants to do in that starting.
Well, I just watched John Morant lose to Houston too.
I would just like Deuce to be on him, to be pesty, press him at 94 feet and just.
That's the only way we have a chance.
I guarantee RJ Barrett scores 35 points. John Morant. Don't tell me this isn't a game to say the number 2 pick and the number 3 pick doesn't matter. If it matters, I guarantee RJ will knock him out.
The thing is, Tricky Nigga, you failing to think about it in the aspect of the positions they play. They don't guard each other.
They don't have to.
So that's
why Mitch is there.
It does.
That's why Mitch is there when he's trying to dunk. That's why Mitch is there.
Let me ask you this, Tricky Nicky. Do you think Alex Burks gonna be able to stop John Morant from getting where he wants to go?
Alex Burks is
your starter. He's gonna have the guard job.
I'm saying RJ Barrett has a point to prove.
I think you're not hearing me. You're not looking at it from
I'm
the angle.
saying RJ Barrett has a point to prove.
Oh, he's been at a
John
point to prove for years now, because he's always been compared to the other 2 guys got drafted ahead of him. That ain't nothing new. But what I'm saying is the reason why we're not gonna beat Memphis.
I'm gonna tell you,
because you can't stop John Morant.
Bull crap, dude. Listen, Ron, Uncle Cleveland. Listen, RJ Barrett will destroy Memphis tomorrow. You watch.
Hey, if that happens,
we'll talk about it.
Let me ask you a question.
If that happens, Tricky Nicky, I'm gonna say Tricky Nicky was right, ladies and gentlemen. Tricky Nicky called it, and I'm gonna give you your flowers now. But if you was wrong, Tricky Nicky, I'm gonna have to be like, I ain't
I'll
gonna
be
even
the
say
first.
nothing.
I'll be the first one to be back on and suck it up.
I won't even do that to you because I
All
hope
right.
we win. But
There
just
we go. That's what
being
I was going to ask
100%
you.
objective, man. John Moran is a problem.
So which
He
fan
is a
are you,
problem.
Ron? Are you the fan that wants us to keep winning and then get into the play-in? Are you more of a let's get a high draft pick?
Okay, I'm gonna let you think about that, and you think what Uncle Ron thinking. When I told you about me, but us being aggressive, what you think I'm thinking? What type
Telling you,
side I'm
He's
on?
playing and winning, but
I want to win. That's right.
There's a way of winning with the vets or with the kids because I
want to win with the kids.
I
man.
want to win. Yeah, I want
People
with the way
thought
we're
Luka
winning.
Doncic
With the way we're
had
winning
us.
right now with
Think about it.
Deuce playing and IQ playing, but then Grimes is supposed to be coming back now.
Yeah, they say he's getting closer.
Right. I just want the minutes
right.
to be spread out and not so top heavy with.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm gonna tell you something.
I'll
I
give you
ain't
some
one of them
minutes.
people that ever been with no tanking stuff, man. I ain't for me that destroys the whole aspects of sports.
It
Sports,
does.
you never should be in a situation where you say you playing to lose.
Did you
that
think,
right
Ron?
There to me,
Ron,
that
did
right there
you
to me,
think
you don't even need to be
Luka
watching.
Doncic would have killed us?
Tricky. He's talking. Let him finish his.
I can't even watch sports with that kind of attitude to say I want my team to just lose. What I want to see is them young guys play. If we win, we win. If we lose, but these young guys are developing, I ain't gonna like the fact that we lose.
Yeah, it's a win-lose.
That we lost again, but I'm gonna be happy that my young guys are playing.
Next
But the tank thing, I've never believed in that tank, especially in the NBA, and the reason why that you still got that ping pong that determines who gets it. It ain't no guarantee. So I don't that tank stuff. That word don't even come in my mouth, man. I don't even like
Knicks
that.
fan, being a Knicks fan, they never give us any luck. We had the worst record, and we should have got the number 1 pick, and we got the number 3 pick, what ended up being RJ, and I'm happy about that though.
Right.
But we never move up in the draft. We always move back in the draft. So
because you depending on a ball to tell you who's gonna beat it. Man, that right there.
That they don't even show though. That they don't even show
seasons, man. You
don't show the ping pong balls. You know what I'm saying? They
Uncle Ron, mute myself because I don't want.
So yeah, I mean, I'm okay with where it lands. We're kind of doing our research right now. Are you into the draft on prospects or anything like that? Or
I haven't really looked at the draft yet. Like I try not to look at players until after the season over with because I like to try to have a clear head when I start looking. I don't want to look at guys and then trying to look at the team and say, okay, well, we need to go. Because for one, I can't clearly evaluate the guys. I might stop looking at the guys on my team in the pros because I'm looking at these young guys, oh, man, this guy's playing good. And not even paying attention to what guys are progressing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I'd rather just continue watching the league. But I have looked at a few guys. You know what I mean? Jaden Ivey. I've looked at him, and I've seen the other kid. What is it? What's the kid? The start. Oh boy, what's his name?
Davis?
Yeah, I've seen him too.
Okay.
The Johnny Davis
kid.
Davis. Yeah. But I haven't really paid too much attention to it yet, man. But the thing is, I'm just really fixated on watching these young guys continue to play. We got 16 games, man. That's a lot of time to get these young guys the minutes that they need to continue to develop, and let next year just. Summer league next year, man, and watching them guys coming in the training camp and stuff going to be a joy to watch them guys, man. And I just hate that Obi is injured at the wrong time, man.
And when's the last time we could say that? That's only been the last couple of years that we've been able to look at the summer league and be interested in who's going to be playing. Starting with when we had Kevin Knox, and then it went into Obi and RJ and all them. So yeah, these last couple of years have been fun to watch with all these.
Man, we finally got some young players, man, and Cam Reddish is definitely a keeper. You got to keep him.
Do you feel like we have a point guard of the future with Deuce McBride?
If handled right.
I think we should. I think we're good with Deuce, man. Let him develop, man. But I mean,
Not to cut you off, the worst case scenario, I feel like he could just be a backup. Worst case scenario.
A very good serviceable backup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go ahead, Kelly.
To fringe, he could be a fringe starter.
I don't want to keep looking for a point guard, and I feel like if we're gonna get a point guard, we might as well get a veteran point. But I mean, I don't want to get a point guard, and we got him. You know, I don't want to.
That's why we should have pulled the trigger for Kyle Lowry and when you draft the Deuce, you can have him learn the point guard from somebody who's really a point guard. Because as much as everybody like Derrick Rose, and I like Derrick Rose is more of a scoring guard. Derrick Rose is not a traditional point guard or even just a point guard. He's looking to score. He's looking to get down here and score.
You can't depend on him to be healthy throughout the whole year.
That's another thing. You can't depend on it.
The NBA is running low on those type of point guards anyway. You know.
Yeah, man. Give me the guy that's gonna play. And another thing I like about Deuce, he ain't flashy. You know what I mean? With the flashy handles and all that. He's just effective. And I like those type guys. They ain't gonna use a bunch of effort to get to where they're trying to get to.
Right. And he doesn't make any mistakes.
He's a low turnover guy too. Yeah. That's another thing about it.
Yep.
No, he has pretty tight handle, man. He had tight handle in college, man. I like a guy like that, man.
Yeah, he's north and south, not east to west.
He don't waste energy. He don't waste energy, and he's big and strong too. I watched that guy. He was boxing somebody out the other night. I watched him box out. It was who was it that we played? Yeah, it was the Dallas game. He boxed out. I think it was the guy that played center for them. And I was looking at that, and I was like, man, you got the smallest guy on the team.
Talking,
and he was boxing him up.
Finney Smith Jr. or something.
No,
not Finney Smith. It was that other cat. That other cat Mitch was abusing.
Maybe him.
I'm not sure.
White Pal?
Yeah, that's who it was.
Oh, yeah.
He was boxing him up. And I was like, wow. I said, when the last time I seen a point guard boxing out a guy that's playing the center position? Because, guys, that's a lost art, too. People don't do that anymore. Yeah. Dude ain't afraid of nobody, and that's what I love about him. He's not afraid.
And we still got Rokas Jokovitis out overseas that we don't know anything about.
Yeah, that's another stash and grab.
You're not going to know about him because he doesn't want to.
I've never even seen him.
And if he's smart, he don't come as long as the Knicks got Tom Thibodeau.
Right. You heard his comments today, right, Ron?
Nah.
Oh, you didn't hear? I think he said, was it today, yesterday? He's good. He said he's good where he is. He's not coming to New York. He's staying over there, I guess, to develop. You know, I guess he knows the situation over there. He knows he's not going to play.
Yeah, and he's in the best league over there. So
yeah, and he just helped his team to a championship over there. So I think he wants to stay over there. So I don't
smart kid, man. That's a smart kid.
Does that mean
who's the point guard? I want to ask you a question. Who is the point guard we get? Who is the point guard we're getting? Who is it? I'm telling you. Mitchell Robinson, Randall, Cam Reddish, RJ. RJ could be at the shooting guard position. Perfect spot. Who is our point guard?
That's the $1 million question. Ask Leon, man.
You gotta ask Leon.
And this isn't a point guard heavy draft either, though. So I mean,
that's why you're gonna have to go to somebody's team.
We gotta
try to get somebody.
Man, Leon's getting me upset now.
That's why I told you, Ron. I'm yet to to throw him out yet because I want to see what they do this summer. If we strike out in the point guard free agency or through trade, then I'll tell you something. And if we strike out in the draft, then I'll be done with that with the front office.
I'm gonna tell you. You know what really made me even mad this year was when they had an opportunity to circle the wagons and go back to Sacramento. They had an opportunity to get Halliburton, and the reports came out that they weren't aware that they were shopping Halliburton.
Halliburton wasn't the guy though.
We
didn't need him.
Tricky Nicky. Listen to this. They first wanted De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, but we didn't need Halliburton though.
They said no, but the reports came out that they didn't even know that Halliburton was available.
Right.
How do you? Man, that's cap.
Well, imagine that. Imagine
that's front office.
Imagine a team keeping it secret.
That happens all the time. Malpractice. And my common sense gonna tell me if you go into Sacramento got 3 guys that play the point guard position. It ain't enough ball for everybody. You got Donovan Mitchell,
Ron, but
and you got Fox, and you got Halliburton, somebody got to go. So you need to be doing your due diligence and asking about each one of them. You don't just go ask about one and they tell you no, and then the guy get traded. And look what the guy got traded for. Come on, man. Come on, man. And think about what that would have done for the New York Knicks. Because if they would have, let's say, for instance, they would have moved Julius Randle because it was reported they was interested in Julius at one time, right? Now you giving Obi exactly what he needs.
Why are they moving
a guy that's going to get up
Halliburton,
and
though?
down the floor with him, that's going to find him. Him and Mitch, them guys would have been eating for days off of Halliburton.
My problem is, why are they moving Halliburton before moving the other guy?
I thought, you know why? Because that's Sacramento being Sacramento. Because that didn't make any sense.
It would have worked out.
De'Aaron Fox, I'm telling you.
I was a huge Halliburton fan.
He's not better than Halliburton.
Here, but
Fox is not better than Halliburton. Period.
Why? Why would you make that deal?
That was a dumb move. That was a dumb move.
They let him walk for nothing, and they got nothing. They got what? 1 first-round pick, and they got.
Man, I'm gonna tell you like this. Halliburton,
it's terrible.
Halliburton, and this is another thing that I liked about Halliburton is pedigree. We always talk about pedigree, right? Yeah. Eddie Jones is his cousin.
That's what I wanted in the draft, though. I wanted Hallie in the draft over Obi, but that didn't work out.
But you had look at this. You had an opportunity to get both of the guys that you were looking at, and that right there would have given me some confidence. I'd have been like, "Wow, Leon, you pulled off. You pulled off. You didn't get the guy initially, but you was able to go back and get him.
Yep.
And put him with the guy that you got. Man, hey, this thing would have been, woof.
Why couldn't
flying up and down the court?
Why did
that would have been admitting? He would have been admitting that he's wrong, and a lot of people can't do that.
But you know what though? Subliminal. I'm glad you brought that up. That's one thing. For as much people, a lot of people don't like James Dolan, right? I ain't one of them people. I like him. And you know why? Because when he makes a mistake, he don't come out and tell you, but by his actions, he shows you that he made a mistake. When he hires the wrong people, what does he do?
What does he do? Goes and hires another. Like, yeah,
there you go. He get him up out of town, and that's what you're supposed to do. More. You don't sit there because what that symbolizes to me is that you're a prideful individual, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I expect Leon to make mistakes because he's a novice. And he's never done this.
And he's still paying all those guys. He's still paying the Jackson and the
Hornacek and Fizdale.
Yeah, and all
get him up out of here. And that's one thing. I can't knock that guy for that, man. That's one thing I must say about this owner. I said, if there's a guy out there that he deemed that, hey, he's gonna try to help us, he's gonna spend the money, man. And if you ain't performing, he's gonna get you out of here and pay you to go home.
But he doesn't do that.
Oh, he does.
No, he does not. When has he paid a guy to go home?
He paid Fizdale to go home.
And he paid Noel?
He paid Hornacek to go home.
Did he pay
I'd like to thank everybody who joined us tonight. Knicks after party. Salute to Ron Cleveland, Tricky Nicky, my boy Cully, everybody.
I'm going at
Uncle Freezy sliding through for a quick minute. And we gonna go ahead and shut this down for tonight. But I'd like to thank everybody who was here, and don't forget to support your boys by smashing that like button on your way out. And the door is open anytime y'all want to slide through.
Hey, Subliminal, Cully, man, y'all keep doing your thing, man. I've been watching for a while in the shadows. You know what I mean? I like what y'all doing, man. Y'all keep that thing classy. You know what I mean? Hey, y'all ain't attached to players. Y'all attached to progress. We have players we like, but hey, if they ain't playing right, we're going to call it like we see it.
Answer it.
Keep doing it, man. Keep doing it.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
And if you like these shirts, these two smooth shirts with these legs, look me up on IG.
Two smooth
clothing _.
Hey, Tricky Nicky, man. Good to hear your voice, boy.
Uncle Ron, it's always good going at you.
Hey, I appreciate you, man.
I don't mean any harm.
Oh, I know you do.
I love you, brother. And